Okay, next we're going to talk about the second 9, objective 9, which deals with finding the x and y intercepts of a line. Our description is substitute 0 for y and solve for the x-intercept. Substitute 0 for x and solve for the y-intercept. So some basic terminology that we need to make sure we understand here. The x-intercept, also known as sometimes the roots or the zeros of a function, and it's the ordered pair that represents the point where the line crosses the x-axis, and it's written as a number, comma 0, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Your y-intercept is the ordered pair that represents the point where the line crosses the y-axis, and it's the ordered pair 0, comma some number. Now in the description, you may say, well, why are we even substituting in 0? So if we go over here and look at a couple graphs, I just put 4 random points on the x-axis, and I wrote their coordinates. What I mean is, if I wanted to write what the ordered pair of A was, it would be -1, 2, 3, -4, -5, comma 0. B is -2, 0. C is 1, 0. D is 6, 0. Any point on the x-axis is going to have a y value of 0, as you can see going down here. Every y value was 0 if it's on the x-axis. So that's why when we find the x-intercept, we want to substitute 0 for y. Likewise, if I looked at 4 random y-intercepts, point A here would be 0, 6, B would be 0, 3, C would be 0, -4, D would be 0, -7. So the y-intercept, they always have an x value of 0. So if we go down here, the x value is always 0 if it crosses the y-axis. So that's why we go back to plug in 0 for x to find the y-intercept. So if we look at some examples. So example 1, find the x and y-intercept of 3x minus 4y equals 24. So if we look at our description, to find the x-intercept, I'm going to substitute 0 for y. So that means I'm going to take 0, put it in for y in our equation. So here I'd have 3x minus 4 times 0 equals 24. 4 times 0 is 0, so I'm left with 3x equals 24. Divide by 3. So the x-intercept is 8. Now, I'm okay with you writing the x-intercept as 8, but I also want you to write it as how it would be as an ordered pair. So the x-intercept would be 8, comma 0. Again, it's comma 0 because we plugged in 0 for y, and that's the y coordinate. And that's what we got for x. Now your y-intercept, we put in 0 for x. So up here, we'd have 3 times 0 minus 4y equals 24. This time the 3 times 0 goes away. So I have -4y equals 24. Divide both sides by -4. And I get y equals -6. Again, I also want you to write it as the ordered pair. So since it's the y-intercept, I put in 0 for x, and I got -6 for y. So again, I want you to be aware of the ordered pair and also writing it just as like x equals 8 also. Now, just a couple more examples just so you can see a couple things here that usually causes some confusion. So find the x and y intercepts of -6x minus y equals -18. So we still have the x-intercept, and I'm still going to replace 0 for y. Anytime you want to find the x-intercept, you put 0 in for y. So here I'd have negative 6x minus 0 equals negative 18. So the 0 would cancel. I'd have negative 6x equals negative 18. Divide by negative 6. And you get x equals positive 3 because a negative divided by a negative. And then since it's the x-intercept, be 3 comma 0. Now the y-intercept, again we put in 0 for x. So we'd have negative 6 times 0 minus y equals negative 18. Negative 6 times 0 is 0. So I bring down the negative y equals negative 18. Again, there is an imaginary 1 here, so I need to divide both sides by a negative 1, which would give me y equals 18, because a negative divided by a negative. And then that as an ordered pair would be 0, 18. Now the first two examples, the equations were actually in the standard form of a line, where the x and the y's were on the same side of the equal sign. So example 3, I'm actually going to give it to you in slope-intercept form. The important thing to remember is, guys, if you forget slope-intercept form, what that tells you, just follow your steps that we just did. So if I want to find the x-intercept, I'm going to put in 0 for y. Again, every time I'm finding the x-intercept. So here I'd have 0 equals negative 2x minus 18. Now I wouldn't just cross this out, because then I wouldn't have a number on the left hand side in this case. So it's just a two-step equation. I'm trying to get x by itself, so I get rid of the subtraction first. So I'd add 18 to both sides, which would give me 18 equals negative 2x, and then divide by negative 2, and I get x equals negative 9. Or the ordered pair then, negative 9 comma 0. Now some of you may be able to look at that and know what the y-intercept is because you understand the slope-intercept form, which is fine if you do, but if not, just follow